you're 200 pounds, you shouldn't be in a Pilates class. There's no reason why they should allow 200-pound people in a level 2 class. You shouldn't be allowed to be a Pilates instructor if you have a gut and you're fat.
Girl, when did exercising become luxury? Like, answer that question for me. Let's get into it.
This is going to be an extremely hot take for my Pilates girls. I've seen a lot of commentary surrounding Pilates and proximity to whiteness, as well as disrupting the Pilates space in order to create more diversity and inclusivity. As someone whose entire purpose of my business, my brand goals is about providing accessible and affordable Pilates to a diverse demographic of women. That is what I started all of this on, so let's talk about it. What are some words that you think about when you think of like a really nice designer brand? I think of legacy, think about craftsmanship. I know a lot of the products are probably like handmade. People check them over and over again to make sure the quality is there, okay? The design is there, and that's why we pay top dollar, we pay our top coins for these designer items, right? Like, you would never walk into Bottega and be like, where's the diversity? Where's the accessibility? Babe, there is no accessibility. This is Bottega, okay? I want you to think the same way about Pilates. And I know a lot of us who've just gotten into this, or maybe we're new instructors, we haven't been trained. Pilates is a legacy, okay? People have worked generations to preserve this method of exercise. Even just training an instructor classically through a good program takes 500 hours minimum, okay? Nothing about Pilates is giving cheap. That's why things like Legree and Solid Core are more successful, right? They took away a little bit of the craftsmanship of the reformer and turned it into a megaformer. Now hire a little bit less experience in training out of instructors. That's okay, because now more people can do it, all right? And just to be clear, I am all for the accessibility of Pilates, but I do want some of the Pilates newbies to think a little bit more critically before we come on here talking about, oh, okay.
So y'all just saw that video. PilatesBodyRaven is going viral right now, and not for the right reasons. And it was because of her hot take on Pilates, right? So, first of all, this video, I'm not going to be bashing Pilates by Raven. I actually started following her recently because she did a podcast interview with Les from Balanced Black Girl. Now I forgot, she just changed the name to it a couple of months ago. I forgot what she called it, but it's no longer Balanced Black Girl. And so I was like, oh, I like this conversation. Like, you know, so I started following PilatesBodyRaven on TikTok. But sis, you need to read the room. You need to read the room, because your hot take was not a good take, okay? So she basically was kind of, in my opinion, justifying why her prices are so high for her Pilates class, because she has Pilates, she has a website, I think, or an app where she offers like Pilates lessons and things like that. And she compared the exercise to a designer brand, Bottega, which it was very off-putting. And so it's like, why is Pilates being like kind of gatekept as this not accessible, luxurious, non-diverse thing, right? Because I've done Pilates before, and now like just kind of hearing people give their discourse about it, it's just kind of like, what is this? Like, is there a one size? It's not a one size fit all type of thing. Because a lot of people's like, oh, well, Pilates was, started by a man named, I think, John Pilates, and a black woman, popularized and brought it to America and popularized the exercise. Girl, Pilates is hard. I did Pilates at a gym that I used to be a member of, and girl, when I tell you twisted up like a pretzel, I was like, oh no. And I was in the front of the class, and I think it was the first Pilates class I had ever done. This was like years and years and years ago. And so I was like, oh girl, we're gonna stick with yoga, because this is hard. I'm gonna need some one-on-one. And then recently a Pilates studio opened up in my neighborhood, and I went like after I had my baby. I went to it and I was like, I just had a baby a couple of months ago. This was like last year, early last year. And I was like, I just had a baby a couple of months ago, and I was just kind of like, I haven't worked out since like having a baby. I didn't work out much during my, pregnancy, and it was like, oh, well, no excuses. Like, it's been like 3-4 months or however long it was at the time. And I was like, oh, babes, no. So very dismissive, right? And so a lot of like, there was this one woman who went viral and was like, oh, you have to be, like, if you're 200 pounds, you don't need to be in Pilates, da-da-da-da.
If you're 200 pounds, you shouldn't be in a Pilates class. There's no reason why they should allow 200-pound people in a level 2 class. You shouldn't be allowed to be a Pilates instructor if you have a gut and you're fat.
It's like, do you want them to like disappear and come back as a size 2 when it's like satisfactory for you? I go to the gym almost every day now, but before I did that, the biggest reason why I never stepped foot in one is because I was so terrified of the judgment. I was so scared to walk into a room filled with people who knew exactly what they were doing and looked like they had worked on themselves for years. I was gonna walk into a gym looking like I won gold at the Olympics for neglecting my body, and it was people like her that I was so deeply worried about. This is not to dissuade anyone from going to the gym. People do look at you, but the thing I had to learn the hard way is that people look at you everywhere. Judgment has no place where it rests. I think a lot of us, when we think about the word Pilates, we think about the type of person that would fly away if a light gust of wind caught them at the wrong moment. But here's the honest truth, and anyone who's engaged with fitness for a prolonged period of time will tell you the same. Most of this will change the way your body looks if you do it consistently over a long period of time and you're eating a certain way. Yes. But fitness also ultimately changes the way you feel about yourself and the way that you carry yourself. Pilates specifically, that's strength, flexibility, and mobility. Those are things that are not boxed in for a certain type of body to benefit from. When people hear that I go to the gym almost every day, I know people's mind wanders and they're like, her ex-boyfriend said that he hated her body and now here she is. But the reason I go every day is because I love it. And it's unfortunate because I think that people who focus primarily on the aesthetics of fitness don't get to benefit the full spectrum of what they're actually doing. Confidence that you develop from getting stronger gradually, making a commitment to yourself, becoming more disciplined, is something that changes people's lives. Losing weight is one side of fitness, but if you're telling someone that they can't do something because they have a gut, you've lost the plot, sister. Do you know how much courage it takes to pick up your life and change it, to develop a new habit, to push yourself out of your comfort zone when you always just walked the mile in high school?
My membership got revoked, and I was told not to go back to work.
Every step you take towards self-improvement is courageous, and if you're out here beating people down when they finally started, you're a loser. And I'm glad you lost your job.
I think I just need to go to therapy.
And yeah, I could have told you that.
And it's like, what is going on? This is a workout that you can watch on YouTube and just do in your living room. So why are people trying to gatekeep Pilates? Like, it's this luxurious, unattainable exercise when anybody can do it. Whether you're 200 pounds or 120 pounds, what does it matter, right? And so her hot take really did rub people the wrong way, and people are really coming out. Like, this one girl was like, she took a couple of classes with PilatesBodyRaven several years ago before she was on Love Island, but she was on Love is Blind, and her energy or how she treated a young lady, she said she didn't like. And so it's just giving very capitalistic vibes, because I think she is trying to justify whatever her prices are for Pilates. And I think, like, girl, for the classes, for the Pilates studio in my neighborhood, I think it's like $30 maybe, or $20 a class. Like, it's not that expensive, right? And it's just it really, from my understanding, for what I'm hearing from the girls on TikTok, it was created to be accessible for people who was not able to go to the gym and work out on machines and stuff like that. Now they have the reformers, because the one by my house has the reformers and stuff like that, and we'll be getting it in. I say we, girl. I haven't been. I ain't been since last year. So, but I plan to rejoin. I had a membership. I had bought some classes, and I just kind of let it lapse, and I ain't go back, and now I ain't got the classes. No, but I need one-on-one sessions, okay? But whatever. This video is not about me. It's about PilatesBodyRaven. But yeah, so a lot of people just did not like the video. It really was distasteful. It was really given, you need to read the room, because it sounds like you're saying, if you're not a skinny, like how, do I want to say this? So Pilates, when I think of Pilates, when I think of a Pilates hottie, I think of a very specific body type. And I seen it when I was going to the Pilates studio, because I was like, oh girl, they look good. Like, and they do look good. They have a very specific look about them. And it's given, if you don't fit that non-diverse, exclusive look of like the Pilates hottie, you don't fit in, you don't belong. And it's just like, read the room, because she's also in Philadelphia. Philadelphia is very black. How do I know that? My people in Philly. My daddy and his people from Philly. So I spent a lot of time in Philly. Family's still out there, sister's still out there. And it's just like, the way you are marketing yourself in a very black town, city, it's not coming off good. It's not. And like one lady was like, she even tried to book PilatesBodyRaven, and her prices was just too high. She was like, I think she wanted $3,500 for like a class of, I think, 20 people.
Okay, the design is there, and that's why we pay top dollar, we pay our top coins for these designer items.
So yesterday I watched that video too, and when I first watched that video as a wellness studio owner and a cafe owner, I was pissed the F off for a lot of different reasons. And I'm gonna jump into the reasons why I'm so pissed off. Number one, the first reason I'm pissed off is because Pilates was started in a jail cell. In a jail cell. That's number one, okay? So for people wanting to tell you that Pilates is this luxury thing, and it's this and it's that, that's bullshit. It ain't true. It ain't true. It ain't true. And then a black woman brought it over here to the United States and perfected it. Pilates is ours. Pilates is ours. So the fact that people are trying to rebrand it to this thing that excludes us is kind of crazy, because it is us, okay? That's number one. Number two, I think what Raven is what she's really trying to do is justify her pricing as a way to put herself up. Because unfortunately, babe, I didn't think about this about you before, but I do think about you in this complex now. I think you're elitist, and I think you're classes, and I think that you definitely showed yourself in that video. And if that's not who you are, then you probably need to like clarify yourself, because you do not make Pilates affordable for diverse audiences. That is not your brand. That is not your mission. And I know that for a fact, because I actually tried to hire you for a Pilates class that I had a few months back that went viral. We actually sought you out and tried to hire you to do a free community event because you were new to the city of Philadelphia. And I wanted to offer Pilates free for black women in our community. So I sought you out. And your price quote was $3,500 for one class, free for the community. Only 20 people. And you were trying to charge us $3,500 for a class. I don't know who you thought you were to even try to charge $3,500 for a class, but I thought it was bananas. And I even said, hey, like, we're a nonprofit. You sure it's $3,500? And your representative said, yeah. So your whole thing of like, oh, this is your mission, that is completely untrue. That's completely untrue. Completely. Okay? But even going back to the grand sentiment about like Pilates and it being this luxury thing and you should be paying a high price point, you should not. Pilates is also calisthenics, however you pronounce it, but basically it's movement with your full body. You're typically not using equipment with Pilates, mat Pilates in general. Solid core is really not Pilates, that's strength training with some elements of Pilates embedded. That's what a lot of people get confused. So a lot of people think solid core is Pilates, is not, okay? It has Pilates infused, but it's really strength training. okay? Pilates is typically calisthenics, where you're working independently with your own body and a mat on the floor. What about that is luxury? Everything built around it, the auxiliary pieces, should be luxury. Your instructor should be high quality, yes. The space that you're in should be high quality, right? Yes. The instruction should be high quality, yes. But none of that means that you are paying Bottega prices for a class. And you did try to charge Bottega prices for a class. You tried to charge them $3,500. My Bottega bags that I have at home, the few that I do have, none of them actually even amounted to $3,500, actually. I think the most expensive bag I have from Bottega is $2,700, and the most expensive piece of shoe I have from Bottega is $1,525. And they're the gold sandals. So you were trying to go well above Bottega, babe. And what you just said in that video was some bullshit. And I wouldn't even have spilled the beans on that until you just tried that bullshit in the city of Philadelphia. And that's another thing too. People don't be from here and they don't do a business plan. They have no business plan. Their business plan is TikTok. Their business plan is coming on here talking to y'all and hoping that sells something, hoping that does something. It's not a business plan. It's a part of a business plan. But that's not your business plan. People come to Philadelphia, they don't know the city, they don't know their market. You cannot come into the city of Philadelphia and start telling us as Black women or people from the city of Philadelphia that this is what things should be. Know your market. Do a market analysis of the city of Philadelphia. Understand the key players. Understand the market rate. Understand who's going to pay for what, who's not going to pay for what, and where you need to go, and how you need to market yourself, and how you need to network, and how you need to fit in where you get in. But I think all the alienation that you're doing online to your core demographic is not going to help you out, sis. It's really not going to help you out. And I don't think you understand your positionality. You also are a racially ambiguous Black woman. Again, you're in the city of Philadelphia where most of us look Black, act Black, talk Black, we walk Black. This is a Black city. So you got a little bit more grind and hustle that you need to do to make a footing here. Especially you want to do with Black women from the city of Philadelphia. That's all I'm saying. And I think getting on the internet, alienating your key demographic, it ain't a good business model. Sister to sister. And I actually liked you on Love is Blind, whatever show you was on. I think I seen you on like 2 or 3 episodes. I didn't know you did Pilates until I was planning that Pilates event and what's her name? What the fuck is her name? I don't know the girl name. The promoter was like, you should book this girl. She might be a great idea. So chill out, girl. Chill out. Too cocky. Too much junk in your trunk. Okay.
Too much. Too much. But whatever, right? Like, but my thing, I also feel like, you know, if you don't like the prices, you ain't got to buy the class. You know, I don't know what her prices are on her website. Let's see. Let's look it up. Wow, let's look it up in real time. Let's see. Because, you know, now I'm not filming from my phone anymore. PilatesBodyRaven. Okay. So for what I'm seeing, it's $39.99. You get access to her weekly live workouts, monthly follow along Pilates calendar. So I'm on her website. Hold on, y'all don't need to see what I be looking up. So I'm on her website. This is her. Well, y'all see her in the beginning of the video. Cute girl. Alright. But she has listed, she has free YouTube workouts, a live virtual studio, on-demand classes, programming challenges. Girl, and I'm not trying to take away from your business, but if it's $40 a week, I mean $40, I'm assuming a month, for like weekly classes, y'all might as well get a Peloton. You might as well get a Peloton. I have a Peloton. I love the Peloton. I work out on a Peloton, and I like the Peloton. I think they do live classes every single day, different workouts, Pilates, yoga, the bike, the one that I have the bike and I have the camera for my living room, and I have the bike, you know, if I want to get on the bike, and a whole slew of other classes, right? I don't know, girl. The hot take wasn't the best, and it's just giving very capitalistic vibes, like you know, that you only are trying to advertise for a very specific audience, and it's not black people or fat people. I'm not gonna say black people, but you know, it's a lot of white women that do Pilates, and when I was doing Pilates, I might have seen one black girl the time that I did it last year. For those couple of months that I did it for several months, and I only seen one black person. So yeah, I think it's getting weird. Let's just say that, because why are we trying to luxuriate something that was created to be accessible for people who did not have access to a gym in the first place? But I think it's just capitalism, the world that we live in, right? But whatever. My name is Brittany Janae. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are on the situation where Raven's Pilates body. People are mad at you, sis, because it really wasn't a good hot take. You really need to read the room and look at your audience. I'm pretty sure you have a large following of black women who watch you, of all shapes and sizes, and just women in general of all shapes and sizes, who are inspired to work out based on your videos. And you telling us that if you look a certain way, then, you know, or if you ain't got the coins, if you ain't got a big body Benz or a Beamer, boop, boop, this ain't the class for you. I'm just kidding. Anyways, let me know what you guys' thoughts are in the comment section below. My name is Brittany Janae, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.
I want to address what I said in my previous video. Start by saying classism, elitism, or anything adding to the larger conversation of like exclusion in wellness or fitness is unacceptable. Hindsight is always 2020, and I see how my words contributed to that narrative. And even though that wasn't my intention, I know that intention doesn't erase impact. But my mission has always been to share my passion for Pilates and wellness with as many people as possible, specifically women. Like, I care about women, and everyone else too, but I really care about supporting women. If I made you feel like Pilates wasn't for you, I have literally failed at my entire mission and let y'all down. Honestly, being a black instructor in this space is what motivates me to consistently perfect my craft, to make the best possible product that I can, and to try to get the Pilates word out there with as little barriers as possible. However, creating accessibility is about more than content. It's also about culture, words, nuance, actions, and I missed the mark. This is definitely not a woe is me video. I have always been collaborative, open to feedback. I want to have a conversation. Like, I'm an Aries. I love to shoot the shit. I want to be better. I want to serve my community better. And really, I just want better for this wellness space in general. And from some of the discourse that I'm seeing on here about my video, I really think that this could be the start of a positive and needle-moving conversation that hopefully can forge a new standard. I really believe we as women, as people of color, can create something better than what has existed before. And that was really the heart of my message. I thank you for holding me accountable and giving me the chance to gather feedback and move forward and go even harder. Let me reintroduce myself. My name's Raven. I teach Pilates and I provide free and affordable studio quality workouts. And I create brand new workouts every single week and I put them on YouTube for free. I'm also the founder of a Pilates community of women who work out from home. And it's so fun. My workouts are approachable for many levels and welcoming for everyone. And everything is free or well under $50. Before I go, I want to give a shout out to all of the black and brown instructors that I found through this discourse. So put yourself out there in the comments. Let us know who you are. Let us know where your classes are. Let us know how we can support you and create even more community. I would love to continue this conversation, especially with other instructors of color, to keep making a change. So please make yourself known, tag yourself, and I'll see everyone else on the mat.